We're live.
It's a Tuesday. It's 10 Eastern, 9 Central, a little after. And that means only one thing. Violent Wrestling Podcast is live on the air. As always, I'm Mox with my co-host, Ambrose Alley, my other co-host, Mr. Metal Matt,
Hello there.
and always dragging up the rear, Mr. Adam Rice.
Always in the back.
Whoa, sir. Sir,
Hey, you put me there.
how's everybody doing?
Doing well.
I don't. My head's still kind of spinning. Um, so we might as well just get right into it.
Well, AA, how are you?
Oh,
I'm doing quite all right.
I need a minute to decompress before
yeah.
And
we're.
let's see, Buried Alive is saying rant, rant, rant.
Oh, it's coming, and we're gonna do
Yeah.
this kind of opposite from how we normally work of covering like in order of Raw, SmackDown. Um, let's just go ahead and get into SmackDown. Who wants to go first?
Uh. You know what? Let's not mess with tradition. Matt, uh,
You have the floor.
you have the floor.
Well, I'll be honest, I did not watch Raw last night because I was working, but I did get a chance to see SmackDown today.
Oh shit! And here we go.
Hashtag shoehorn Charlotte. Just, this is so, it really is just reminding me of like the Unforgiven 99 build, where there's just so much going on. And in cases like this, it's like you have to try in order to screw this up. Like, for those that may not know, Charlotte did win the SmackDown Women's title tonight.
And it,
Why?
but set it up, because this is what the most amazing thing is.
Yeah.
We came in tonight.
So Charlotte says that she's going to prove that she belongs in WrestleMania main event, and apparently it's a match for the SmackDown Women's title that was not advertised in advance. We literally found out, like everybody else watching the show, it was completely out of nowhere.
At what time did SAP have that report, Mox, about the card all of a sudden being held close to the vest tonight?
One more time.
Um,
Oh,
about
about
what
the
time did
we knew a
about
little bit, but like the actual, like we knew something was going on, but the card being held to the vest.
yeah? What time did
What was the
SAP drop
question though?
that? About
Uh,
when did
ab-
SAP
ab-
drop that info?
about an hour and a half, hour before start time for SmackDown.
Sometime in about what, the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour, probably closer to 7, given the time SmackDown starts. SAP reported they were changing the match tonight to something, and the company pretty much went radio silent on the match card tonight. They were holding it close to the vest. We
And
come
some of
into the
us
show.
insiders actually had it, but that's neither here nor there.
Do you want to? Do you just want to plug the fact that you have sources now, or do you want to wait later?
I'll plug it all through the show because I called it. And I realized later when I said NC, a friend of ours, a listener, we call them friends, not listeners, but a friend of ours, might have thought I was talking about Nikki Cross, but NC stood for North
New
Carolina,
North
Charlotte.
Carolina,
Yeah, Charlotte.
new champion.
Yeah, it covered all the bases. New champion, North Carolina, Charlotte.
So so they come in and they unannounce. They say, so first of all, we have to get over the fact that they scrapped an entire match tonight in the course of a week. In the course of a week, they had a plan, changed the plan up to the a few hours before the show, and they ran with it.
And it doesn't make sense whatsoever.
At all. And I'm not going to shit on the match because they're talented, and when you put talent like that in there, they if they click, they're good, and if they don't, you'll still sometimes get a passable match just on the pure athleticism alone. But these two click when they're in the ring together, so they had a good match. But
Yeah,
this isn't about the match; it's about the finish. How do
yeah, it's
you
about the
two?
outcome.
They've first of all, let's think about what they've done to Charlotte here for a second. When she
They
was
killed
over
her.
on let's go back. When she was on Raw as the champion, she had a pay-per-view undefeated streak that they hyped continuously. What do they do with it? The fast lane before Mania, she loses the women's championship to Bayley. Didn't
Bailey.
they didn't do anything with the bit? They did nothing.
Can we just look at this for and I was just thinking of it as you were speaking. Because a lot of people are saying, and I can see it, like the SmackDown Women's Division is ruined, like just ruined at the moment. They did
Not quite.
literally.
They still have
Uh,
two saviors.
There's no saving this. Don't even
well,
go to the
they're
iconic. They're still jobbers
that's
until
the
they win a match that matters.
hey they
They
beat
did win.
the tag champions last week.
And they're in
But
a
my
fatal
point being,
four. Go,
for one,
go.
um, for one, um, they're in the tag division. They're not, in the single women's division. But what I was saying, you remember, because I've been steadfast on this. Asuka and the undefeated streak ruined the NXT women's division for some time,
Yep.
and they've done that with the SmackDown women's division, but in reverse, kind of. It's still Asuka, but this isn't like on Asuka or the streak or um it just happens to be Asuka is in both equations, but isn't the somehow however it works that she's not the common denominator, but that's
And now, here we are, 2 weeks before WrestleMania.
like literally 12 days. Like what the
They just had Charlotte break Trish's record
and
on a
without
meaningless on a meaningless SmackDown with no buzz and no build.
they didn't even mention it on the announce team. Nothing. Nothing. There wasn't a callback like a backstage after winning. Like there was nothing. Not a thing said during commentary after the match about nothing. Nothing was said. It's almost like they did it without realizing, oh, shit. It's kind of like if they put the 17th title on Cena without realizing it's the 17th title.
Which that would be pure negligence on their part.
Which
And
this
just like
was.
this is pure negligence. It's negligence of story, it's negligence of talent, it's negligence of history. They have managed in one night to kill everything on SmackDown. It's dead. It's deader than
Not
a
everything.
doornail.
For the
Well,
women, maybe, but not
in the
everything.
women's division, it
Hey, what do you think about all this rigmarole? I'm pretty sure you didn't watch, but just Charlotte just all of a sudden winning the SmackDown title in a match that wasn't announced, wasn't planned, just happened, and here we are. What you what do you think?
I'm glad
Have
I'm
they
watching RMP.
independent wrestling at its finest? Thank you for giving me sanity. Not that
Speaking of
sanity.
cinema,
Yeah, because they also look like jokes tonight, but that's a different story. I
I
go ahead.
I don't know what you do here. You have been saying your source is saying that the company is not going to the unification route as of
Right,
this moment
right.
because obviously we know they can change things on a dime.
Um, um, plans change,
Plans
but
change. Thank you, Dave.
right now,
Uh,
right now, it's not a unification. It is strictly for the Raw Women's Champion, which means um, either Becky or Ronda. Becky winning, and that's how we get this story to end and split. Charlotte stays on SmackDown, which has been reported forever that SmackDown Fox wanted Charlotte, and Becky goes to Raw as champion. And we finally get this behind us.
this all this does is serve to me to protect Charlotte in that match. You now can't have Charlotte take the fall in that match.
Well, she shouldn't have
Okay.
taken the fall in the first place.
I agree, but for
Oh,
those thinking they were going,
I think what Matt's saying is she shouldn't have been in the match at all.
Oh,
well,
she shouldn't have been in the match at all. Like, part of me is really hoping that this means that they're going to have Charlotte be in a completely different match. It ain't happening, but I
No,
want to
no,
believe that.
absolutely not. No.
And the thing with Charlotte tonight is that they killed her character and they have killed any chance of her getting cheered. She is never, ever, ever getting cheered
Oh God.
again.
yeah, I don't see why anybody. Why would if she turns babyface, would you ever cheer this woman?
Right, and
You just
you know that WWE is thinking, oh man, this is going to get Charlotte so much heat. When in reality, it is the exact opposite.
yeah.
There's no
It
heat
the
whatsoever, and if
the
there
live
is any, it's not good kind.
the live crowd tonight, there were some boos, but it wasn't like drowning
Because they
boos.
don't
It
care
was
anymore.
yeah, it was there were some boos, but a lot of apathy and kind of like we're reacting now of like shock that they would be that they're doing this. It wasn't for Charlotte the character, it was for what the fuck?
The
What's
second
this?
that crowd heard that they were getting a WWE Women's Title match, SmackDown Women's Title match, and they heard Charlotte's music, they knew. They knew that you've telegraphed it that very minute. And if I'm
The only thing that could have saved that because Becky was doing a backstage promo when Charlotte's music hit on stage and cutting Becky off. The only thing that I couldn't have called it 100% on was maybe Becky coming out and interfering or something.
saying no, you don't deserve this one too, and kind of trying to keep to the overall theme, but
Yeah. I mean,
if
because
I'm honest,
SmackDown's been the because Ronda's apparently doing the Triple H I don't work Tuesdays thing. Um,
nice
so
callback.
Thank you. So SmackDown's been where we've had the Becky and Charlotte like pull apart brawl and like that was the only reason why I wouldn't go 100% like Charlotte's winning here. Like Beck with the interruption and stuff like Becky would could just come out interfere. Oscar retains. We move
I
on with
wouldn't have
the
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't have had to been Becky. I'd have had to been the four girls who just got jobbed. Let's not forget who else just jobbed tonight.
And
Naomi.
by job, yeah, they weren't even on TV.
I mean, Naomi, Mandy
Carmella,
Rose, Carmella, and Sonya
Sonya
Deville
Deville.
should have walked down that ramp and beaten the piss out of Charlotte.
That works better than
Becky.
for a WrestleMania match. That would have worked
Hmm.
better because then we get like a fatal five way or whatever at Mania.
Fatal
Right.
five way.
But yeah, but that uh some kind of that was the only like there was going to be some kind of interference, which was why I couldn't say 100.
And did y'all catch the women on Twitter tonight? The second that
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, they're not happy.
They have no reason to be happy. I'm going to Vince's office and being like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And
Because
people say like I don't want to say Charlotte. People say that Charlotte has seen a pool. Some people have kind of innuendoed that, but like, shouldn't somebody be like, no, like, do their Consuelo? No,
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 I'm not going to
no.
place this at the feet of people who I just don't know. I don't know if Rick's backstage. I don't believe he is, but we know Rick. When Rick talks, people listen, rightly or wrongly. When Charlotte talks, people listen at this point. If you don't think Charlotte has some sort of say of what's going on, I got a bridge to sell you.
In Brooklyn?
But no, oceanfront property in Arizona. I'm sorry, I didn't mean bridge. Um, wow, nothing. You guys suck.
No,
Um,
I get it. I was gonna, you beat me to it. I was gonna correct you myself.
um. So I'm gonna don't. Well, the old saying, "Don't blame malice where stupidity would be the right call." I'm paraphrasing the old saying, but um,
You're just butchering all the quotes tonight.
I am horrible. Um, I have to lay this at Vince's feet till I know otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it might have been somebody's idea, but
And if
the ultimate say we all know is Vince.
oh
Whether it's
my god,
what
is this just got put into my timeline, and I don't know if it's real. Um, there is a screen grab of the website Pornhub with Charlotte holding the women's title over her head, and in the video description it says Vince McMahon fucks the entire SmackDown Women's division.
oh god, that's great stuff.
That can't be real.
No, that's got to be.
I
Anyway,
I but if that does reflect the sentiment that a lot of people have right now. You just
yes,
fucked a lot of people.
yes.
You directly jobbed Asuka, who should be on a
Like
plane to Tokyo tonight. Tonight. Don't pass go, get your shit, get on a plane. Because I would be livid.
just as fans were livid
Um,
that it was just such.
if I'm
Um,
Mandy, Sonya, Mela, and Naomi, I'm asking my agents, or I'm talking directly to Vince, asking him, why did you do this? And if I'm any other woman on the SmackDown and or Raw roster, I'm backing them up, saying, "What? Give us a reason."
if
And the
I'll take it a step further and go NXT, NXT UK, If that's what they're doing on the main roster, no thanks. Like,
You
I'll
could,
play out my I'll play out my NXT contract and go do
yeah.
something else.
I mean, I look. There are options. Vince knows that, and if Vince and if their reasoning is the build to this hasn't been great, that's your
You
fault.
just fucked it worse.
How
Yeah,
can you?
not
That's
not
like
only you're
saying
right. The
that's like
build has been shit. Let's make it fucking worse. That's like Bully Ray tweeted um, last week, putting Connor in Becky's corner and Rick in Charlotte's corner and stupid fuck in Ronda's corner. Like, yeah, let's take this shit storyline and make it worse.
they
What they
already
what they literally did was do that, but by multiplied it by 10. Like
they already had a grease fire and decided they wanted napalm to get rid of the
they
grease
had,
fire.
they had a grease fire, and they thought water would put the grease fire out because they're too dumb. Where, for those that don't know, former firefighter, water spreads a grease fire. It does not put it out. And just a pro tip: if you do ever have a grease fire, use flour or detergent, kind of like laundry detergent. Use flour, something to smother it.
Baking powder, the like.
But yeah, any kind of powder.
And
Brown
you know what?
sugar, just something to smother it. Do not
Yeah.
put water on a grease fire like
And this is another.
WWE just did.
Yeah.
But
And this is
real quick, go
go
ahead.
go go. Well, I just wanted to say,
Um, because
uh,
because
I
not
mean,
only was this story already shit and they made it worse, but now they shit on all the women's stories, all of them. Like there are no other women's stories outside of the tag team, and that's a shit story just based on it was already a not compelling story. And so they took this shit story and BA, here's a little rant. You're gonna get another one later when we get to Raw because the fucking main event pissed me the fuck off. Anyway, they took this shit story that and just every week they make it worse and make it worse and make it worse. And this week they decided, hey, this isn't shit enough. Let's shit on fucking everything while we're at it. So now we don't even have a SmackDown Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. Now we don't have anything going forward to WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Let's just combine it all into one big shit pile. Is what they did.
we used to joke
And let's
about
put
this.
all the other women in the battle royal.
If they announced the
That's what's
battle,
going to happen.
if they announced the battle royal, we don't know if the battle royal is even going to happen.
Fucking stupid.
And we used to joke about this a year and a half or so ago when they ran Charlotte into the ground initially with all the titles. She's going to get to 17.
I was just about to say she's going to beat Cena to 17.
She might even beat Cena to 17, and he's one away.
Oh, BA popped up with language, sir.
Sorry,
What language
sir.
would you, what language would you like? Spanish, Italian,
We can speak
Latin?
Canadian, eh? You betcha.
You betcha this is a fucking shitstorm.
I was about to say, how do you say fucking shit show in Canadian?
Trudeau at the moment.
Well,
Uh,
I was trying to, I forget which one BA, the hockey team. I know he's a Raptors fan. So if I just start using
Canadians,
Rapt.
Maple Leafs,
I
Flames.
was
Take your
gonna
pick.
say Flames, but that's Five's team. So
It,
um, yeah, this was just. And I told you guys
again,
before we went air, we've got some family things going on, and so my wife had to duck out during Charlotte's entrance, or actually, she caught that she had to duck out when Oscar came out, and I said, "You're gonna miss Charlotte winning the championship." And even she was like, "They wouldn't do that," as she's shutting the door behind her. she comes back home right after the match, like, told you, you missed Charlotte winning the championship. She was like, no way. It's like, yep.
If I'm in that locker room right now, I am feeling pissed and disheartened, and truly asking myself, is this money worth it? Because Mela and Mandy and them aren't making Charlotte money. They're not making Becky money.
Yeah,
I
But
mean, Mela
yeah.
is money.
granted, yes, she is, but she's not getting the pay. Becky just re-upped, and I have every reason to believe that Becky
Is in
is
seven
the first.
figures.
It, yeah, maybe not seven figures, but definitely six figure. Well, seven. You're right. I got my
God.
millions mixed up. I'm an
And
idiot.
Ohio State grad, everyone. Ohio State grad.
It is a glorified paperweight. I ain't gonna lie. Um, it
Eh,
she she's probably the first woman at a base $1 million, because we know Charlotte. The last we heard was at
well,
750.
outside of, we know Ronda makes, but first
Ronda
full
full
time,
time. Yes, Mela's not getting that. Mela may
no.
never get that. Naomi may never get that. Asuka's never getting that, just due to age and attrition.
But Mela is kind of a different, and this is for you, Des Moines. Um, kind of a, I see Mela as being not necessarily, I'm just happy to be here, but Mela's having a blast. And if she's
And
making,
honestly, she's in the right place.
yeah, if she's making enough money to live comfortable and save and do all these things, travel and meet these people. Mela seems to be the kind of person where she wouldn't. She's probably, and yeah, she did tweet and stuff. Like it's probably grating, but not to the point of like, well, I'm just gonna quit. Where you get some other people, like let's say Naomi, um, who's put in, and she's also a likable person. Don't get me wrong.
Let's not forget
Um,
how long Naomi's been there.
that's what I was getting at. Like the work
Yeah.
she's put in. Yes, she is a former champion. Um, but this kind of stuff, if nothing else, like Naomi's kind of in a mama role, like because she has been there so long. Like she's probably frustrated on a personal level, but she's got to be frustrated for the other women, the newer, because she's I don't take this comparison the wrong way, but kind of like a Natalia role.
Natty and Naomi are the two most tenured women in the company,
And yeah, and they've seen a
outside of
lot.
Alicia Fox. Uh,
Alicia Fox.
um, but right now we don't know where she's at, so I won't bring her up any more than I already have. Um, they have to be looking at the women, going, "This can't be happening." We were They were promised the world, the division.
Oh,
They
hold on.
they
Go ahead.
they the build, the women's evolution. For all of this to where we're standing 2 weeks from Mania, wanting to bash our heads against the wall because they've butchered the two women's divisions in the course of the last 6 months. Uh, uh, what do you do? Uh, Matt, I want to get you in here some more. Um, can they fix this post Mania?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know.
Because how do you begin to fix SmackDown? with Charlotte at the top.
Why, it's quite simple, Adam.
Don't say
You
it.
don't have Charlotte at the top.
About that.
Excuse me.
I mean, let's take them out of it because they very well could be champions coming out of Mania. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying it is obviously a thing that could happen. Besides them, what do you do?
You have
Well,
the
he's thinking.
Iconics rule over SmackDown as the tag team champions.
But how does that fix the singles division?
Oh, it fixes everything.
Oh, dear God. Mute yourself, sir.
Hey, how would you again knowing that you watch just little YouTube clips here and there, and we talk about it a lot. How would you go about fixing it? Would you like how would you what would you do as some I don't want to say outsider looking in, but just from hearing what's going
And no,
on.
setting yourself on fire is not an
Yes.
option.
Well,
I wouldn't do that anyway.
I'm considering it.
I'll allow it.
Of course you would.
What
Um,
would you do, AA?
how would I fix it? I'd somehow work it to where the titles, except for the tag team, because the tag division, it's pretty well okay. But for the singles, take it so that the belts are in abeyance and have a tournament and just start from ground zero.
With both of them or just SmackDown?
Mainly SmackDown.
Yeah, I know you said SmackDown there, but you do have to triage both shows. It's just, to me, Becky has so much heat with her that whoever is that first one, they're going to be able to carry that story.
Yeah.
Uh, this
And
is Stone.
if Ronda leaves, please, 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 like that fixes a whole lot of shit on the Raw side. Like that's how I'd fix it. Just thanks, Ronda, for the year. Bye, bitch. Like that's a pretty easy fix. And then like the shake up stuff, like get some new. Like
I'm sitting here racking my brain.
you have one of those.
Shut up. Do you just the 2 nights after Mania, have one of those 4 women who got screwed come out and start something? Do you maybe start fresh with Nikki Cross? Is Lacey Evans the answer? Oh God, please kill me.
Lacey Evans is never the answer to anything.
Yes, it is. How quick can I turn the channel?
Well, okay, you got me there. But I like
If
AA's given what we're given now, like just abandon ship. Hold on one second. Everything okay? And just start anew.
yeah, you have to burn. You have
Which
it's
we all know
basically
that
like,
that's just going to be end up being Charlotte's ninth title reign.
oh God, she's gonna get to 17.
Dude, and I'm telling you before Cena,
Fuck me sideways.
sir,
I
sir.
I know. I, It, but I, I'm seriously looking at this from every perspective that I can. I don't see how you get out of this. Short of putting actually doing a build
Honest,
and have Charlotte have that belt till SummerSlam.
or if they don't just because I don't see 2 nights after WrestleMania, Charlotte just saying, lying the belt down. That's something else that we'll get to that when we get to Raw. Hopefully, we get to that because we've been on this forever. Fucking Ronda never takes the belt with her.
She
She
doesn't care about the fucking
always
belt.
leaves the fucking belt.
She
Always.
she doesn't
Everybody
care.
else in every promotion, after a match, they take the belt. They have the belt. Either it's handed to them by the ref, they go to the bell, the table and get it. Every promotion, the champion, whether new or retaining, grabs that belt on their way out. She never, she always leaves the belt. Always.
It, she
But
doesn't give a
what I was
fuck
saying,
about the
if
belt.
it's like she forgets she has it. Like
She
honestly,
doesn't
like shoot,
forget. I'm telling you, she doesn't forget. She doesn't give a fuck about the belt.
then get the fuck out of wrestling.
What have we been saying now for a month?
I've been saying it for a year.
Well, I know, but since this thing has been happening, did you? Let's. You know what? Do you want to shift to Kofi Mania, or do you want to shift over to Raw?
I was gonna nip this in the bud real quick with piggybacking off of AA's idea because I don't see Charlotte just saying here, I'll earn it again. Um,
No, no,
pull
she's not relinquishing that belt.
yeah, pull AJ versus Paige debut from a few years ago.
Have someone beat her.
Whether it's a call up or like you said Nikki Cross or somebody just completely unexpected, and Nikki Cross is still pretty much new. Even since the call up, she hasn't been on TV much at all, and just
She was backstage tonight with the baby faces.
yes, and Nikki Cross losing her shit is always fun. Put it on
Nikki's
her,
fun.
do that something like that. Like if you're not gonna, I just this is the most. It's been years since I've literally had this. What the fuck?
I know what they're gonna do. It just hit me like a shot because she's coming up regardless.
Shayna.
Yep.
Oh God! So we go from Ronda holding the Raw women hostage, to fucking Shayna doing it on SmackDown.
Because she's coming up to Raw or SmackDown. Obviously. That was a stupid fucking comment. Um, she's either
No, I
coming
thought she was coming up to NXT UK
to
or
205 Live, 205 Live. Um, it because she's either coming up to Raw
oh
to
God.
continue Ronda's story with Becky, or she's coming to SmackDown because Fox wants a sports presentation and Shayna has shoot experience.
Oh God.
How, it. I mean, granted, I know
Call her up
obviously
to
it's a 50
catering.
where she can hang out with the Iconics.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
What
um,
did you
Y-
just say?
you heard me. I mean,
but
obviously, there's a 50-50
I hope
chance
the
for either.
Browns lose every game they play.
Sir, I've already drank through that experience. Nothing you can do can affect me.
um,
I'm just
It
sweet.
but yeah, so we can end the podcast maybe on a happier note. I guess let's transition to Raw before we get to Kofi Mania.
yeah.
Um, AA, anything happening in the Rocky Mountain Pro?
Well, they're having their big camp this weekend.
Oh yeah, that is this weekend.
Yep, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm going to their big event on Sunday.
We need to start
Yeah.
a GoFundMe thing for AA to actually go to the camp. AA
You
take
have
some
to be in the
bumps.
wrestling profession to go to the camp.
Well,
That's what I'm
you're in the
talking about.
profession. You just
Yeah,
go.
that's what we need video of AA taking some bumps from Marty the Moth or somebody.
I promise I won't laugh the first time.
Oh,
She'd
you
probably be
promise.
better than she'd probably be better than I'm not gonna name names.
Oh, I
I'll take
will.
I'll take bumps from Curtis or Yaden.
Oh, ma'am, that's not that's not PG.
Since when have we been PG?
Well, true. So let's go to Raw. I'm gonna have to mute for just a second, but let's unless you had any other RMP Rocky Mountain Pro news.
I will next week.
Do you want to mute and
No
let
worries.
Matt? Do you want to mute and let Matt cover MLW?
Sure.
Matt, go ahead and get into MLW.
Oh, well, to be honest, I didn't get a chance to watch it this weekend. To be honest,
I
I
I I actually have some stuff I'd like to talk about with MLW.
I mean, I do know that Mance Warner and L.A. Park had a death match this past Saturday.
Yeah, I missed that. Um, I'm here to say I'm totally in the fan club of one Jacob Fatu.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's great.
he he won't be in MLW long. He's getting signed to one of the big boys, probably WWE if I had to guess, because they don't let legacies just go somewhere else. I know, Tessa, I know, but that's extenuating circumstances. Um, dude's good. Dude, that match a couple weeks ago, I know it was a squash match, but this dude doing double jump moonsaults at 6'2", 260 is insanity.
Who are we talking about?
I
I'm back.
uh, Jacob Fatu,
Ah, yes.
dude is nuts. And once again, it's another one of those instances where men that big shouldn't move like that, and
That's what
he's a
impresses
stud.
the hell out of me with and they've toned it down for whatever reason lately, like the last year or so with Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
Kevin Owens
well,
is a big dude, and him running up the ropes and doing basically what you're just saying, the double jump moonsault. That
he,
that's an
Kevin's
eye
got
to
miles though. Kevin's got some miles on him. That's probably
yeah.
why they pulled back. But I'm liking what I see. I don't know why they're called Contra. Simon Gotch, Jacob Fatu, and Joseph. I forget the guy's name. What's the third guy's name, Matt?
Um, it's like Joseph something or something like that.
It begins with an S, and it's not Stalin, people. Uh, but no joke, this dude, his name's Joseph. I forget. But on the Indies previously, he was working as the Sheik, the Sheik the Second. He completely ripped off Sheik's gimmick.
That might be why they're called Contra. Iran Contra.
Oh, I'm fucking retarded.
Dumbass.
Okay, BA said that there's a video clip on Twitter of Asuka celebrating in the background after the New Day won the gauntlet match.
I saw that. Yeah, she was hugging
So she
Naomi.
so she didn't set herself on fire.
Again, I would have, but 'cause it, but I love what I'm seeing with the two crazed guys in Contra. That's fun. Um, the new Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and
Fuck MJF.
for several reasons. Um,
Our very first podcast over a year ago. Remember AA? Our
Oh yeah,
very first our very first and second podcast. And anytime his name gets brought up, it's just an obligatory fuck MJF.
but MJF and yeah, the other two rich guy gimmicks they're doing.
You
They're
might as well just run down the card of this wrestler and this wrestler. They're doing this versus this
but what I'm
wrestler and this
basically saying,
wrestler.
what I'm basically saying, I'm enjoying what I'm saying. I missed last week. I saw the week before. I'm liking it. Hard Foundation. They are kind of splitting people up arbitrarily, I think, and on a show in a company this small, I worry about factions because
Yeah, with the
that
roster,
can
that's
eat up
yeah,
time and unnecessary stuff. New Japan can get away with it because it's kind of traditional at this point, and they're a larger company.
yeah. Um,
But I like it. I love it. Don't do it.
you want some more of it?
God, I set myself up for it. And Courtney's been great on commentary.
I heard a little bit. Unfortunately, the last few weeks I haven't been able to catch too much MLW. I've caught clips here and there. Um, have you watched any more? Match Terror makes its appearance. Have you watched any more women's of wrestling? Women of wrestling.
I have not. I actually haven't caught it because I'm a bad person. And but I heard there was some stuff going on over there with how Santana ended up losing the championship and how Tessa winning it, and there was uh,
Yeah,
uh, there was some stuff there. Uh, and Tessa now being apparently, I guess Tessa's the face of it, current non WWE wrestling, women's wrestling,
uh,
in a way,
I guess by default. Uh, Damn, that hurts
because
to say.
it's not Tony anymore. She's contracted.
Yeah.
It's not
Um,
Killer Kelly. I mean they
it's definitely not Priscilla Kelly.
no no no
You could
no.
get into a smaller niche with because some of the Japanese women are killing it,
Yes,
but
I'm
not
sorry. I am forgetting the Stardom girls, and that's my fault.
yeah,
It's just I'm not as familiar.
and that's kind of my point of like the more known names I get, known, not no, known names. I guess by default it would go to Fuck My Life, Tessa Blanchard.
I thought you were going to say something completely different.
let's see. BA just commented that Cornette is a great commentator.
Corny knows what he's doing when he wants to, when he likes what he's
Sa-
doing.
Says the corny mark.
I am a corny mark.
No, I was talking about BA, but you
Oh,
too.
I am a corny mark.
Yeah.
It when he likes what he's doing, he's great, and
Yes.
he's a professional. But we'll see how long this lasts. But let's get into Raw proper.
Do we have to?
Not even a little.
Um, this tells you everything. We start the fucking show. Somebody do this for me.
Do I have
Oh,
to? Don't make me do
yeah.
it.
Do it. Do it.
You're gonna make me do it.
Well, being completely honest, medicine, literally just had a brain toot. So, um,
Oh.
actually forgot.
Oh, by the way, do we wanna while I look this up, what do you guys make of the WWE landing Joan Jett for WrestleMania?
Awesome. Even though she's playing for the
Awesome.
wrong person, but awesome nonetheless.
Yeah, let's it is awesome. Hey, you a Joan Jett fan?
I'm a big Joan Jett fan.
Obviously.
It's awesome.
But
Then let me first
but
say
I
that's
would
awesome.
really like
Yes, sir.
Joan
You
Jett
can
play
go.
Ronda. Johnny Cash obviously can't play Becky, but give her the song. Give her the song. Pay the
When the man
rights
comes
for
around,
one, yes, for one night. Just do it. Just do it. And
they
for
they paid
and
the
just so
rights for
Charlotte,
Taker.
yeah, and just
How is this any different?
for so everybody's fair and Charlotte, give Charlotte Rick's actual entrance.
I could do you one better because I'm corny, no pun intended, corny like this.
Oh God,
Get Adam
I
Lambert
remember
and
Raw now. By the
Queen.
way,
Have Adam Lambert and Queen come out and do a version somehow of her entrance. Queen. I know it's loose. I'm
War
sorry,
Queen do
but
a version of what?
see if you can get Adam Lambert and Queen to do a remix or a rock and roll take on that theme, or have
Oh,
them come out, have them play one of their songs, get the crowd hype, and then hit her music. I mean, it's going to be a shift in gears, people rocking out to Queen booing Charlotte. But
no, for Charlotte's special entrance, have her robe so fucking long, like it goes all the way down the ramp, because you know this
and you
ramp's
know
gonna
that
be long,
the
like
Rams
the
going to be
big head
long as
mode.
shit.
What
Yes, yeah.
the
But
if you guys have not played WWE 2K19, big head mode and Bianca Belair's hair, she gets to the ring and her hair is still on the ramp. I want that shit for Charlotte's robe.
but you have to do something. I mean, it's whatever you do for Becky and Charlotte is really going to pale in comparison to Joan freaking Jett.
And I have to disagree with a friend of ours, Sean Rude, about Joan Jett being the biggest get for this kind of stuff because to me, it's you're not going to beat Lemmy and Motorhead. You're just not doing it.
Yeah, that's a musical taste
Yeah,
kind of thing. I love God Motorhead. Yeah, that's a good shout.
It's
Um,
better than Flow Rider.
always.
this is true. And there's also you got to put Snoop up there with Sasha. But to me, Motorhead playing Triple H out was
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of sucked like presentation wise, but it's
It's
still
still
Lemmy, it's still Motor, it it still happened.
yeah. I mean, it's close between. I mean, they're both Hall of Famers. Motorhead and Joan Jett are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I believe.
Right.
So
Um. I don't think Joan is.
Yeah.
Joan is.
Yeah, Joan is. Okay, it's Cindy Lauper I was thinking about.
Was there's another discussion we need to have, but that's later.
Cindy Lauper's not in any Hall of Fame.
How the fuck
WWE,
is that
rock and
imaginable?
roll. Like she's in no Hall of Fame whatsoever.
But
But moving on to what I or Go ahead.
Oh, Mr. Matt DSM said the song that Adam is searching for is Killer Queen by Queen.
That I really wasn't searching for that particular song, but that would be perfect. Because look, if we're gonna give Rhonda Joan freaking Jett, and we're
You
gonna
got to
have
do something for the other two.
and let's say they do go with Cash playing through the speakers when the man comes around, just for Charlotte just to come out to her theme. Uh,
I mean,
I
I'd
might.
love it. I'd love it just personally, but it wouldn't be right.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it wouldn't be right, and you know Charlotte would be pissed,
Yeah,
and she'd have a reasonable. If you're gonna
yeah.
shell
She'd
out for
have
the
a
licensing, and if you're
yes.
gonna shell out to have Joan Jett, you can shell out for have do something special for me.
And now she can fucking say, "I'm the SmackDown Women's Champion." God, fucking bless it.
You just pissed me the hell off.
God.
Get into Raw
So
before I start throwing things.
we open the show with Ronda fucking Rousey.
Boo.
Oh my god.
By the
Oh
way, by the way,
yes.
Asuka just tweeted with
See you in
just the simple
Tokyo.
with just the words "over."
Oh. Since I'm podcasting, I can't reach out to my sources, but I'll see what that's about.
But continue.
Um, and why do I have to talk about this shit? This was so damn stupid. So Rhonda comes out and she has one thing to say and finishes it with, and that's all I've got to say, and literally drops the mic.
And
Walks
then
away, gets to the corner, about halfway through the ropes. She comes back. Oh, I've got one more thing to say, says her bullshit. Now that's all I've got to say. Literally drops the mic again, walks back to the corner, exiting the ring, comes back again. Yes, she literally did multiple. That's all I've got to say. Mic drops. What the fuck? Um, to touch on this because I would be remiss if I didn't. The first time before she started speaking, or during the first time before she dropped the mic the first time, the crowd saying, "We want Becky, we want Becky," like loud as shit, and it looked like Rhonda was going to cry right there on the spot.
she tried to play it off,
She tried her
but
best, but she, she was. My feelings are hurt. Baddest woman on the planet, my ass.
she is so gotten to that. I whatever.
This is the wrong business for her. This is the wrong business. Like it just absolutely is. It's the
She's never done well with criticism. She doesn't. She's never done well with coaching.
yeah. This is just this is not her cup of tea. But anyway, we get announced that there's a beat the clock challenge, and it will be Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte in singles matches against the Riot Squad.
Which
And
can I just now say, what purpose did that serve?
I fuck if I know. I guess vagina measuring contest.
Wow.
Like that's well, usually if it was men, a
A dick
dick
measure.
measuring
Yeah, yeah.
contest. Yeah, but so we get a beat the clock challenge, and we open with Ronda against Sarah Logan. Um, Sarah Logan's so awesome. I just love Sarah Logan. And the match starts, and Sarah, being Sarah, God, I was laughing the whole time. As soon as the bell rings, Sarah ducks out and starts running around the ring just to make the time go up. Like she runs and runs like a couple of laps around the ring, comes back in, runs around some more. Um, Finally gets in the ring. Ronda follows her back into the ring. Um, she gets her leg up, literally, by kicking Ronda, getting in the ring. Long story short, Ronda wins by submission in a minute 25, and that's the time to beat. Um, Ronda celebrates and does her "I'm the baddest woman on the planet" as she's walking up the ramp, forgetting the fucking belt. Like the prize everybody is fighting for is nowhere to be seen. Next, we have Ruby versus Charlotte, and during this match, the camera angle that goes up the ramp, you can see Ronda is so incompetent at this that she was supposed to stay out on at least on the ramp the entire time. You see her where she accidentally went backstage, like forgot what she was supposed to do, and come back out so she can watch the match. Um, Long story short on this, Ruby didn't tap to the figure eight in time, so the match is done because she beat the minute 25. So technically, she didn't lose. So
But let's
I
not forget the last image we have of Ruby in the ring there is her in the figure eight getting ready to tap.
yes. So that happened,
And
and
then
finally we get Becky and Liv, and I just want to say one more time how much I love the squad. Squad, squad,
Squad.
squad. Um, Becky ends up beating Liv within the minute 25. So for whatever this purpose served, I guess Becky's the winner. Excuse me. Uh, uh, I, guys, do you have anything? Because I don't want to say vagina measuring contest. I almost said I guess Ruby's got the better vagina of the three, or
Sir,
Becky's got the.
sir,
I know, like I don't like. What was the point of this?
they
Like,
literally, they figuratively let the riot squad go out there with their dicks in their hands. That's what they did. They, this served no purpose. There's no reason to do it. This doesn't add any build to Mania. They just wanted to make sure people remember. How do you think we forgot WWE that these girls are close on the show? Do you think we're
I
that
don't.
fucking addled with ADD and ADHD that we fucking forgot?
Well, this is the same company that gives us a recap of shit that literally just happened. So,
This is true, but but you don't need to add any more.
like,
You don't need any more layers. This isn't an onion.
and I did skip a part after Becky or after Charlotte and Ruby. Becky attacked Charlotte, or I have that backwards. After Charlotte, after Ruby beat the clock, Charlotte was still in the ring, and it was Becky's turn. Becky gets in the ring. Charlotte puts boots to asses before she finally leaves the ring.
Letting Liv jump Becky in.
Yes, I've because if it was so stupid, I tried forgetting it.
I don't blame
They
you, because again, the, you How many times do the Riot Squad have to be jobbed on TV before people before they before they're dead?
Okay,
Speaking of what, oh, go ahead.
Mr. Matt DSM was saying that she didn't tap Adam and was never gonna tap.
I'm not talking about the tapping. I'm saying that the last image of Ruby in the ring is her in the figure eight looking like she's gonna tap.
But
They
she didn't.
made it
That's the secret.
doesn't it doesn't matter that she didn't tap. She beat the clock, but she still looked like she was gonna lose.
Yeah,
And you
like
know
It's
what
all
the
that's
about
called,
visuals there.
Adam?
presentation.
You know what that's called?
Lay it
Street
on me.
smart.
I want to throw something at you. I don't know if it'll make it there, but I want to throw something
Well,
at you.
maybe now it's time to say that I am wearing a Becky Lynch the Man T-shirt, so it will
Okay,
protect
Okay
me
then.
from anything.
except
Holy shit!
WWE bucket.
There's already 400 comments and the Charlotte winning the SmackDown.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not going into that.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Not
that tire
even a
fire.
little.
Yeah.
It you've I would say the riots need to move to SmackDown, but given what's happened tonight,
Well,
uh,
let let's go. Let's take it a step further. Guess what match we get next week?
a 6-woman tag match. The Riot Squad are facing the 3 women in the main event at WrestleMania: Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey. We all know how that's ending, right? The
The
Riot
Riot
Squad are
Squad goes over clean,
yeah, and
well,
I'm gonna
the
win
thing
the
is,
pinning
Powerball.
all three.
I've heard that if the team of Ronda, Charlotte, Becky, if any of them betray their team, apparently they're out of the main event. That's what I've been hearing.
Okay, and then what? So what's gonna happen? The Riot Squad are gonna get job clean, so then they can fight each other.
Honestly, I think maybe some miscommunication happens, and the Riot Squad get a win.
I want the Riot Squad to pin each one of them individually clean at the same time.
Sir.
And
Sir,
and and I want to win the Powerball, but guess what's not happening?
so you're saying there's a chance?
Right? They've
Yeah, this was just unnecessary bullshit, and for it to
Quite
be,
frankly, he took his Powerball and he went home.
he lost his smile.
oh, but no, this was, and I'm sorry for the language for those who with sensitive ears. This was masturbation for the sake of it. There was no point. They were just, stroking it to see what happens.
And why do it with the squad?
Yeah, that's there are women sitting in catering who can do that and have the same outcome because none of the squad were gonna get over.
I mean, we have like Mickey James, and we have like people in the back on Raw that,
Why can't Dana Brooke and
yeah, you have a Dana Brooke and a Mickey James,
Mickey
and
James?
surely somebody I'm forgetting off the top of my head that you could have
Yeah,
used there.
you didn't have to do this, but you did. So fine, great.
Like,
We're gonna do this shitty deal. Fine.
we thought this was bad, then fucking tonight happened, and like, oh, okay.
Fuck.
Moving on. Any other thoughts on this?
I have no
How about
thoughts about Ronda Rousey or anything.
moving on? AA, any thoughts on what they're doing with
Nope.
this? Moving on. Next, it was supposed to be Bob and Leo versus Finn Balor in a handicap match, but we come back from commercial or when my internet um, came back. I don't know if it was right after commercial, but when my internet um, paused for a second when it came back, Leo's replaced with Jinder Mahal. So it's Bob and Jinder Mahal versus Finn in a handicap match. Um, the fuck? What?
I
Why are we doing this? What's going on?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. I, is this really the best use of our time?
And
I
but
think
this
it
was
is.
for podcasting or watching Raw because
A little bit of
podcasting,
both.
I right?
Watching Raw.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh man. I'm seriously thinking about going back to just the Hulu version, or doing what a lot of people do and just watching the YouTube clips. But
Better than what's going on now.
and I guess mid match they announced it was for number one. Here we go again with number one contendership shit. They announced it was for the number one contendership for the IC title. Balor goes over with a coup de grace on Jinder, and so he's the number one contender. And Lashley doing or Bob doing Bob things. Lays out the Singh brothers for some reason. Like he's done with Leo, but like okay.
I, I
And then Spears Mahal like um. So you're a sore loser. You're. This has been going on for 2 months now. Whenever he loses, taking it out on his friends or his allies or whatever you want to call them, just dumb.
fuck
So we
all
get
this.
more Bob versus Finn, and if they, I swear to fuck, and I know they are, we're gonna get Demon Finn, which I'm all for, guys, all for Demon Finn
I can
on
feel the
Bob.
sarcasm.
No, I'm all like seriously, I'm all for it. Against Bob though, for Bob, come on,
To get a belt back he never should have lost.
just dumb. Oh. Moving on, we get Aleister Black and Ricochet versus the Revival. Because the Raw Tag Team Championship, as far as WrestleMania goes, is what, who, where, like it's what are we doing? There's still not a match for that or a number one contender or anything. And guys, this is like 2 weeks away, 12 days today, but this was their last Raw before the go home show, and we don't know what's going on. Like there's no. Anyway, Alistair and Ricochet win again. So the Revival keep doing what they've been doing since they won the championship and lose.
Lose. Raw Tag Team Champions can't buy a fucking win to save their lives.
They
And
need
just
to
put
talk
the
to Star.
belts on Alistair and Ricochet.
That's what they'll be doing. Because anything else doesn't make sense. But who am I kidding? None of this makes sense. I might, I might, I might go play in traffic.
Uh, uh, thanks for being a co-host all this time.
Cause this is ridiculous.
It seems like everywhere you turn, like the story's just bad. Like Raw, SmackDown, like there's Like I'm waiting for that one. Like, hey, this is a good story.
Kofi.
Well, spoiler, sir, spoiler.
It's still a good story, even though we haven't gotten to the
I know.
point
I mean, we said it earlier, but
where
yeah,
we're
like
at.
it just shit. It's been. What are they even doing? Um, any thoughts on the revival? Like literally losing every week since they won the championship.
I look forward to
Besi-
seeing them in AEW.
clink, clink, motherfuckers.
Up.
We move on to a Roman promo um, saying, talking about Drew McIntyre, and he will hold Raw hostage until Drew answers him, and or I have that completely backwards. Drew is in the ring. Damn it, Adam rubs off on me.
Whoa.
Hey, sir. Drew's in the ring saying he's vanquished the Shield. He's ended. He beat Seth, and he beat Roman. He beat Dean, and he'll hold Raw hostage. And but now he wants Roman at WrestleMania. He'll stay in the ring and hold Raw hostage until Roman answers his challenge. And long story short, Roman comes out and answers the challenge and says yes, he accepts the match at WrestleMania. So one of the few times my sources were wrong. We're not getting a tag match. We are getting one-on-one Drew versus Roman at WrestleMania 35.
Whoa.
I
I've seen tubs of mayonnaise with more personality than Drew McIntyre.
knowing damn well Des Moines is listening, you're going to use that reference.
I do what I can.
But yeah, this is another, like, I want to be interested, and it's Roman, so, and it's Drew. I like both of them, but
There's Drew. First of all, I didn't realize Drew was. I've seen Drew live, and even there, seeing him stand face to face with Roman, I didn't realize he was that big.
yeah. Oh,
He's a
speaking of
big
real
man.
quick, something I want to touch on real quick, going back to the Revival versus Aleister Black and um um Ricochet. Because I've seen it on the forums we talk in and Twitter and stuff about Aleister is so, but he's so small, he's so short. Aleister's taller than both the current tag team champions. He might not be as thick, but he's taller than both of them.
The revival run kind of small.
Yeah, they're small and stocky, but people that are talking down about Black and his size, and it won't be believable. He's too small. Well, you have tag team champions. Yeah, they're stockier, but Alistair's got muscles and he's taller. So that kind of like weighs out.
Yeah,
I think
but
he's what 5'10" or 5'11". He's not the biggest guy like tall
he's
wise,
a
but
he's a shade under 6 foot.
I just all of a sudden that narrative started popping up of how small he is, and I guess somehow the dude that's his partner that's like 4 inches shorter gets a pass because good lord it's Ricochet. But just last few weeks I've seen a lot of people saying about how
Actually, they list
small
him.
Al.
He's his build height is 6 foot.
Okay, and now so true height probably between 5'10", 5'11". He could be all 6 foot because, like I say, he's. I don't see why all of a sudden this became a big deal about how small he is, but I guess that's some of the people on Twitter that like doing stuff like that. Anyway, wanted to touch on that. But yeah, Drew's a big boy. Because by no means is Roman a small dude. I love how they have the same hair, beard. Anyway,
Yeah.
there was a evolution thing a few months ago. Um, Seth, Roman, Drew, because they all have the same wet hair and the same beard, and Seth being first, being the shortest, then Roman, then Drew. It was funny. Anyway, moving on. AA, what are your thoughts? Being a Roman fan or Shield fan overall of Roman's this Mania's opponent. A, Roman not main eventing, which we all knew that was not going to happen, and B, Drew McIntyre being his opponent.
I'm looking forward to it. That's one match I would probably watch. Just because I like both guys.
Yeah, that's it's just the whole story to me. It's like, I guess they're trying to make it work with the Drew has beat up the Shield stuff. That kind of works, but yeah, I'm into it. It's just Matt. What do you think? Did we lose Matt?
Yeah.
What do you think about Drew versus Roman at Mania?
I think it'll be a cool match.
Man, a few words.
Unless it's a rant.
Yes. Okay then. And moving on. And a rumor popped up yesterday that Dean Ambrose isn't expected to be on TV anymore.
Well,
And in a few hours, that didn't age well because as Drew's walking backstage, guess who we see? The
Teeny.
the man, the myth, the legend,
Dino.
Mox Lee.
Boo. Oh, wait, you said Moxley. Okay. Thought you meant you.
Here's Dean. So if you already took like rumors as fact, this right here proves don't take rumors as fact. And um, anyway, so he meets Drew backstage and says he wants Drew in a match tonight and a last man standing match. And if you stay tuned for a few more minutes, you're going to get a hell of a Mox rant. Um, and so it's made
I'm
official.
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Sorry.
No, you're not.
You're
Let's
right.
have a Mox
Um,
rant.
oh, it will be coming later. But and I love how even tonight when Vince on SmackDown made a match official, like you got it. They still like come back from commercial. It's been made official. Like fucking Vince himself literally just said it was official before the commercial. Anyway, but they've been doing that a lot here for the Mania of coming back from commercial. Or we've learned during commercial break that this match has been made official either for Mania or during the show for the next show or that show. Like it's been made official. Um, moving on, we get Sasha Banks and Bailey versus the match is Natalia versus Sasha Banks. Natalia has Beth Phoenix with her, and Sasha Banks has Bailey. I'm doing that just to piss Des Moines off.
To the Goldberg.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean she
And now,
is the champ.
now I want, and now I want to see Bailey come out to the Goldberg, the whole Goldberg thing,
Yes, like smoke coming out the nose, and yes. Oh God,
headbutting the
that'd be great.
lockers, headbutting the lockers, the whole night.
You just made Raw 100% better. Like,
In the
security.
jacket, the security, the
Yes,
smoke, yeah, the whole nine.
yes.
I, for one, would pop.
Oh, I definitely. But instead of maybe a few sparks, definitely the smoke. But when the sparks come up, instead of the sparks be the inflatable tube men,
The
they come
wacky
up with
waving.
the smoke.
No,
Sir,
and
that's copyrighted.
the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. Uh,
That's
they also.
copyrighted, sir.
I don't sue me. Uh,
But
eh,
just like last week, this was for one thing, and that was to set up the Mania. Was for Nia and Tamina to do Nia and Tamina things. Joy, Nia and Tamina end up interfering.
they could have put the Riot Squad in Nia and Tamina's slot. They could have done numerous amount of things, but we have
Yeah.
to get the Samoan sloppy seconds in here for some
Damn.
freaking reason.
I thought my Samoan sideshow was bad.
What, what was so bad about having? I understand they had to serve. The NXT girls have to do their thing in NXT at Takeover. I get it. So I get why the Divas of Doom are here. That makes sense. But there are better teams than Nia and Tamina.
Yeah, when like last week, the only thing I can you have to kind of look at it like the tag champs aren't brand bound, so there you can't say like, okay, there's two Raws, one SmackDown, and I don't know what the you want to. I don't know. It's just another one
They're
of the
they're a Legends tag team. They're
yeah yeah
unaffiliated.
yeah. Well, you have yeah you have the unaffiliated Legends. You know, since we're defending against anybody anywhere, here's Legends unaffiliated. Um, here's a SmackDown team in the Iconics, and here's a Raw team. But
We'll have
for
our
the and I'm going to use WWE words here because we know it's not true. But for the first ever women's tag champions to have their WrestleMania match be this is just bad. I was waiting for Matt to chime in. Nothing. Matt. I, Matt fell asleep on us. Matthew.
Matt.
Yeah.
He doesn't want. Seriously.
What?
He doesn't want to talk about the Iconics.
Oh, I want to talk about them. And how they got screwed over in this match.
Oh, they didn't get screwed over. They weren't even on the show.
I,
It should
yeah,
be
not
two on two at WrestleMania. The Iconics are the only team that earned their way into that match. Nia and Tamina literally just lost the title match. And Beth Phoenix has merciful since
he has a
2004.
point.
How is she so worthy of the titles all of a sudden?
Because legends get shots in perpetuity. That's how it works.
So Coco Beware is going to shut the WWE title, is what you're saying.
Coco Beware is dead.
Damn, dude.
Before I say that, was Coco at his ceremony?
I didn't understand you.
Was Coco at his ceremony?
At his
No, wait.
induction?
Yeah, Coco's still around. I'm sorry. Coco's still around. He's
Yeah.
61. Um, but yeah, homeboy's still around. Still
Mhm.
living down there in Tennessee. Um, but yeah, but if Coco really wanted to come back, I'm sure they'd let him have a match if he was physically capable. Speaking of physically capable, um, how soon after this was Kurt?
The very next thing.
That's what I thought.
Oh, well, we go into before right before we get to Kurt, after all this, Beth and Natalia are still in the ring, and they show us and the live audience the clip of the newly announced Hart Foundation going into the Hall of Fame. Just when I say just, um, Jim Neidhart, Natalia's dad, and her uncle Bret Hart, and they show the vignette, and then show Natalia crying, and rightfully so, and Beth as well. So
Let me just say something here real quick regarding the Heart Foundation. I understand people's insistence that it shouldn't just be Brett and Jim, and I get
I would
what
say
people are.
maybe the mouth would be if you're
I
gonna do
was
more than just Steph.
expecting Jimmy Hart.
Yeah,
Apparently, they're not going to do Jimmy, which is fine. Jimmy has his ring. There has to come a time where we as fans just accept that Martha is not letting Owen in the Hall of Fame.
right.
We need to stop having this discussion. We need to stop bringing it up. We need to
Yeah,
stop getting disappointed every Hall of Fame season when he's not in. Martha holds Vince McMahon and the WWE 100% wholly accountable for the death of her husband. Period. There is no and but. So could we please stop having this discussion?
right. And when they, the news broke earlier in the day, and I figured it'd just be Jim and Brett, but again, like if there's a third person, maybe Jimmy Hart, maybe.
Yeah, this is about the original Hart Foundation.
Yeah,
This is about the tag team, and they deserve to go in. Um, Bulldog should be in by himself.
probably by himself. Yeah,
Bulldog deserves in by himself. Bulldog deserves to be in with the British Bulldogs. But
yes,
we have to understand that there are just some things to just out of company. It's really out of the company's control.
right.
In,
Definitely
in
out of
turn,
ours.
it's out of ours. In the Owen situation, it's out of Vince's. It's out of the company because if Vince tried to pull that one over on the Martha Hart, I don't even want to imagine the lawsuits.
Yeah, that would be. And I know a lot of people, Vince is the devil, and I think for one he's not, and Vince is um, not just for the lawsuits, but he's acknowledging, like, or however you want to word it, that
He is
he's
acquiescing to the
yes,
wishes of a widow who lost her husband in a fashion that never should have happened.
yes,
And there is blame on the part of the company and on part of the Vince McMahon. How much blame? Well, we'll end up debating that at the end of time. But as far as Martha's concerned, Vince McMahon killed her husband. That's how she feels.
right.
I am in
Um,
no position, nor do I want to take the position of trying to convince a widow of how she feels. So the Hart Foundation, the tag team are going in. Let's leave it at that and let's celebrate them. We
Yes.
don't need.
Brian Pillman Jr., Teddy Hart, and Debbie Boy Smith Jr. are taking their rightful place in the Hall of Fame.
I hate you on every conceivable level
Oh,
right
good
now.
grief. You're
But
the worst.
The WWE Hall of Fame is sponsored by
Moving
Quagmire
on.
Ribs. Quagmire Ribs. Enjoy the heat.
oh
Okay,
my
now.
god, did you have a stroke? By the way, and Pillman should
Hey,
go in by himself. If we're going to talk about that
absolutely.
Hart Foundation 97, all those guys deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And some of them already are. But this is not about 97. This isn't about that. This is about Jim Neidhart and Bret Hart. Let's leave it at that. I know I just went on a tirade. I'm sorry, but I saw people. Why won't they induct Owen? Motherfucker, you know why. Stop acting
Language,
like a
sir.
spoiled child every time this company doesn't do something you don't like, especially
I
when it
mean, can
comes
we
to
be,
that situation.
heaven forbid, we be happy for Jim Neidhart and Natalia, his family. Let's look at the negative. What about Owen? Well, Jim Neidhart just became a Hall of Famer.
We're supposed to be remembering Jim, not bitching for the 20th time ad nauseum about Owen. God rest his soul. But this isn't about Owen. And Owen would be the first one to tell you that. So let's stop every Hall of Fame season. Is this going to be the year for Owen? Let me. Spoiler alert: for the 2020 Hall of Fame, it's not going to be Owen. For the
Damn.
2021 Hall of Fame, no Owen. For the 2022 Hall of Fame, do you get my picture?
No, sir. I'm
I will punch you in the taint, you motherfucker.
punch him in the ding ding. Moving
So,
on.
yeah.
We get a backstage segment with Kurt and Baron, um, basically just hyping up the WrestleMania match. Angle saying like how much he appreciates Joe coming to Raw for his farewell tour. Corbin interrupts with Corbin stuff, um, and that's about that for that segment. Then we go on to
Hey, a little
a moment of
tiny,
bliss.
quick,
Go.
tiny piece of breaking news. They put it on Twitter, so there's no spoiler. Um, Per general manager Drake Maverick, Oni Lorcan is now an official member of the 205 Live roster. Just want to put that out there.
And the crowd goes mild.
Exactly. Now on to a moment of
Sir, I will hurt you.
tell me different.
Uh, eh, I kind of like the segment a little bit. For one, I like Weekend Update. It's the best part of SNL. And Colin Jost. The whole point of this was to bring everybody together, Braun and the SNL Weekend Update. Kind of like Dr. Shelby kind of role of, can't we all just get along? And of course, the SNL guys are via satellite. And Colin Jost, and they're in Boston. Boston. I'm sorry for wearing a Mets hat in Philly. I'll never do that again. And puts on a Yankees hat in Boston, which go Yankees. So I thought that was funny. Just a pretty much stupid segment, except for the fact that we find out Colin Jost and Michael Shea will both be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So I guess they're future Hall of Famers.
Sure.
They'll go in the same year Owen goes in.
Right. Yeah. But I just want to point out again with Moment of Bliss and Alexa. I understand that there has to be some concern about where she is physically. She could be doing
She,
more than this.
she's wrestling in live shows, dude.
I know, but
Right now, there's literally nothing for her, and what is going on around her, keep her the fuck away.
true. But like last week with the stuff with Finn and the flirty nonsense. It's
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
nonsense. I mean, if you have nothing for her, I understand. And if you're trying to promote her for being the host of Mania, fine. But can we leave the flirty, batting the blue eyes nonsense
Well,
somewhere else?
she did last night.
Oh,
She's
that
not gonna
yeah.
flirt with with Braun.
Oh, let's see. Rice got a 5.5-star rating on his Owen Hart Hall of Fame rant from BA.
Yay! See, I do
Would have been
something right.
would have been 7 in the Tokyo Dome.
Damn it! Always with the letdown.
Well, that diploma behind you.
You suck, sir.
Go Cougs!
Ass.
Those that don't know, Houston here, Ohio State there, knocked them out of the tournament.
They weren't going to win that game anyway, so really, anyway.
I'm surprised they even made it to the second round, to be honest with you.
They,
Um,
yeah.
Back to Raw.
Back to Raw, back to
Oh,
school, back to school.
no, no. I'd rather go to school.
Um, so and this happens throughout a couple of times throughout the night. Elias is in New York doing his music stuff, and the first time, he's in front of the Madison Square Garden, and how many shows he sells out and stuff. He's got a cup of coffee, and dude comes walking by and drops a quarter, thinking he's a bum. Drops a quarter in his cup. The second time, he's got a guitar, his guitar case on the floor, full of money, and still talking his nonsense about him being the musical guest at WrestleMania. Dude comes by, looks at all that money, grabs like a handful, runs off. Elias is still talking. Dude comes running back, takes the whole guitar case, runs. The second time Elias didn't notice. He noticed the first time. He's like, I'll make plenty more. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much how Raw's going, guys.
Just the
Next,
crickets.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of crickets, Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin.
Chirp, chirp, chirp,
Yes.
chirp, chirp.
Da 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 da. Baron Corbin actually won this time, so
Because they have to act like they're getting Baron Corbin hot for Angle.
literally after last week him losing to the same person.
Sure. Sure.
Well,
Because what else fucking matters?
apparently nothing. Um, let's see. Then we get Seth Rollins um, doing a promo about Brock, and then Paul Heyman comes out, and yeah, most of it was pretty much the same old shtick. Paul, or yeah, I'm sorry, Morris, just Paul now. Paul does what Paul does, except he added a little bit to it this week, and it was one of his better promos in quite some time. Still basically the same. Same Paul promo, but yeah, it just again crickets. Then we get this Mojo versus Kurt Angle. Who's hyped for Seth Rollins versus Brock? Anybody? Anybody?
Yep,
If Brock loses, great, but outside of that, you could miss me with it.
Brock has
And
to
that's
lose or I riot.
And this is another one. And
so.
we sound repetitive, or at least I do. This is another one. Like I'm gonna watch the match, and Brock better lose, and I'm interested in the match. The story, on the other hand, is just falling so flat for me. Like it's Beast Slayer. Okay. I mean, they could have done what they're doing with Drew here, because Brock's literally faced Roman and Dean at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Matt, you hyped for this match?
Hmm?
Take that as a no. Are you?
What?
How's the story working for you for Seth and Brock?
It's really dull. It really is. I just kind of want the match to just happen already, just so we can get out of the way.
So, again, as this whole thing with Charlotte unfolds tonight, um, guess who's going to be tweeting about Vince McMahon's quote shitty booking tomorrow?
Oh God, who?
Gail Kim.
Oh Lord, that's gonna be fun.
That's going to be a flamethrower. That
Interesting.
I mean, we need to continue, but let's not forget how Gail left this company.
Yes.
In
Let's
her
not forget how
opinion,
Gail came into this company. Agent porn, anybody?
yeah, that was a thing that happened. But
God
she
bless
is
me, Jane.
it. We need man.
Yeah,
Gail's gonna go off. I mean, she has never had a filter when it's come to WWE because she believes she got fired and left the company because of racial reasons. This is gonna get ugly.
stay tuned on Twitter tomorrow and follow Gail Kilm.
Uh huh.
Next, we have another good Kurt Angle fare, farewell tour match with. Um, for a second, I thought I was watching TNA. Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. Um,
Did you see how they started the match?
that damn headbutt and whew,
And that was a direct callback.
I audibly said, "Damn!" like out loud, even more to my wife. And like, "Ow!" Yeah, that was straight TNA.
That was all TNA. That's that they wanted to begin it that way. Yeah, that was cool. But again, Joe and Kurt, Joe's lost a step and Kurt's lost 5.
Yeah, this was literally just for nostalgia because for once they weren't doing hyperbole about it. It's the first time they've ever faced each other in WWE, um, which was cool. Yeah, and I said last week, and I've said throughout a couple weeks that you then apparently it got actually reported. I guess broke news. I don't know how broke that Kurt's got to be handpicking these his opponents leading into this, starting with Apollo and then Gable and now Joe and then tonight AJ. Um, Good match for given what it was. It's like you said, they're both older than they were than last time they face each other, and but still a decent match. It wasn't. I like the Apollo and Gable match better, but decent match. I'm loving the farewell tour, and that's why I don't care if he does what he apparently is going to face Corbin at Mania. I don't care. This tour has been worth it.
I still think that's a swerve. Um, but then again, they already have so much on the show already. They won't. The if it is a swerve, the swerve happens at Mania.
Yeah,
No
because
build. They're just gonna do it.
that's two people out there still that have not been mentioned, Cena and Taker. I know you're talking about Cena.
Yeah, I don't see them dragging Taker in
No, no, no,
uh,
definitely not for Kurt Angle, but
for Mania in general.
mm, that'd be a shame. But yeah, it anyway. Um, it's past midnight your time, so I'm gonna try to hurry. Um, Kurt wins after reversing a Coquina clutch. Um, any other thoughts on TNA invading WWE?
No, I like it. The retirement tour's been fun. Um, we're gonna get Mysterio next week on
Yeah,
Raw.
we got AJ tonight, kind
Got
of.
AJ tonight. Yeah. Um, I like how they've done. Uh,
Like I said, this has been more fun than you can gripe about the Mania match all you want, but um, getting what we've got the last few weeks out of this tour, like makes it worth it to me because it's been fun watching these matches, even if they're not the best matches. It's been fun.
yeah, I like how I'm thankful they let Kurt go to SmackDown
Yeah.
because as Kurt's a legend and he was on both shows, but he made himself on SmackDown.
Yes.
He was one of the SmackDown Six.
I was about to say he's one of the SmackDown Six. I wasn't sure if people still remembered or call him that, but the SmackDown Six, he was one of the six.
I would have, me personally, I'd love to see them let Mysterio and Kurt have their match on SmackDown
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fitting, and plus they'd probably find a way to tribute Eddie some way because I
Yes. Absolutely.
know Kurt and Eddie were close, and we
And
all know
obviously
Eddie
Ray and
and
Eddie.
Ray's story. Um, and they'll still probably do it on Raw, but it would just mean more on SmackDown.
Right. Um, Matt AA. Any thoughts on this Angle tour and
It's pretty cool.
Legends don't tend to get to go out like this.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's
You either
and I
go out
know
on your back or you get carted out. There's really you either the business eats you up or you just fade away. Kurt, even though he's lost a lot, he's still getting to walk out on his own 2 feet, and that's you don't see that all the time.
and Kurt at I know you said lost 5 steps, but Kurt at I was at 50% still does a hell of a lot better than any of us and a lot of people on the roster can do. Yeah, there's some spots here and there like, oh, oi, jeez, no. Not saying like he's still popping eyes, but eh. But like you said, I'm just happy they're allowing this to happen, and it's not just a steady Corbin Angle tag teams and Corbin Angle back and forth, and they've kept the story together, but kept them pretty much separate, and let Kurt do this tour while Corbin's doing his thing, but at the same time, somehow miraculously keeping a cohesive story going. That it's still Corbin and Angle at Mania, just because Corbin's facing Apollo and Angle's on this world tour. So that's pretty neat. And I know deserves and earns gets thrown out a lot, but Kurt deserves and earned this. Hey, any thoughts on Kurt?
I just wished Corbin wasn't his final match.
If you could pick somebody, who would you pick?
Cena.
You would.
Yep.
You might get your wish. You just might. If Rice and myself have our thoughts put to action, you might just get that.
If my thoughts were put to action, we wouldn't be
Oh,
dealing with.
God bless. Yeah, we'd all be in hell.
Hey, Dick.
Um, so let's get to this Triple H promo. I mean, it wasn't Triple H promo. I'm sorry, I
Tell me
skipped
what you want.
somewhere.
What you
It,
really, really
it,
want.
it the Spice Girls concert.
Oh God.
It wasn't Triple H. I'm sorry, I
So, Mock,
misremembered.
tell me what you want. What you really,
What you
really want.
really, really want.
He
Don't
has to
answer that
listen
question.
to sir, not when we're live. Um, I'll answer it off air, off the record. Um,
Well, I mean,
he,
I have the record, and I know.
yes, sir, sir, sir. Um, he has to listen to VWP because I literally did this last week. Was he doing Spice Girls? Was he doing? Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you.
he, they did that bit last week, so he could do this bit this week.
Thanks for deflating my ego, thinking he listened to VW.
Somebody's got to do it,
Go Cougs.
Dick.
Um, but yeah, and he even he's got an envelope which is apparently a letter from Batista's lawyers in his inside jacket pocket, and he has so much trouble getting it out of the pocket. And one of the best parts of this promo is he said, "Look there, looky there. I let the envelope go over." Because everybody gives Triple H so much shit about always going over that he put the envelope over. That took about 3 minutes of the promo, him trying to get the damn letter out. But it's a letter that basically, after you get through the Spice Girls song, says that Dave will only compete if uh, Triple H puts his career on the line, which we kind of already assumed that was happening. And Triple H goes on and on. It's a Triple H promo, guys. You know it's not going to be 2 minutes. And finally, I accept. So it's a Triple H's career on the line versus Batista at Mania. And that no holds barred match. And I'm still trying to figure out if we're building to WrestleMania or Extreme Rules. Crickets? Seriously?
Seriously.
Seriously.
Da-da,
Da-da.
da-da,
God,
da-da,
Da 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 da
fuck
da da.
you, fuck you, fuck you.
da-da.
Uh,
Uh,
Great. Hunter's putting the career on the line. Um,
Again.
again.
like we like we didn't already know he was going over.
It, it.
The
We know
next
why
week's
this. We know why this match is happening.
sure. Hopefully next week.
Dave.
Surely they're gonna next week. Like Dave's career's on the line too. Like come on.
Yeah. Why else would Hunter put his career on the line?
If Batista loses, Triple H gets to play Drax.
Now that I want him to say that. Can he say that?
Or even
Triple H
worse,
to
if,
play Thor, so
if Triple H wins, Batista has to play in Chaperone too.
Ooh. No. No.
Directed by Triple H.
No. If Batista loses, he has
I
to
would
play
prefer
in a.
Inside Out too. Thank you very much.
No. 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 If Batista loses, he has to play in a shot-for-shot remake of Blade 3
Sir, you are the devil. You are evil.
as Triple H's character.
Sir.
Darko Grimwood.
But maybe the Pomeranian would like him and wouldn't be
uh,
farting all the time.
let's be honest. Now, if we had Ryan Reynolds now come back and play that role, and Batista in the Triple H role, that's 100% a better movie.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I mean, the bar's low, but still.
We could even get Wesley Snipes now that he's out of prison.
Oh, shit.
Still paying your taxes, Wesley? I hope so.
Damn. Oh,
You
oh,
still have to pay your taxes. And that's the
Bray.
bottom line, because Erwin R. Scheitzer said so.
Did he just, like,
Yes,
collage
he did.
three promos together?
Hmm. Hey, IRS, please tell. We have a message for you. Your son is born.
Oh, damn it, you beat me to the Bray Wyatt return imminent.
Bray Wyatt looking like freaking Post Malone nowadays.
We know that's why Bray lives in the swamp. He didn't listen to his dad's advice and
He's
never
hiding
paid his
out.
taxes. Yeah.
You can't catch me if I live on a boat.
Then how do you explain Bo?
Bo was the good child.
Bo's adopted.
I wonder. Hey, I wonder if JoJo lives in the swamp with Bray.
Oh, good lord. Sir. Sir.
Uh,
Bringing. See, now I need to know if JoJo's nearby. No other reason but curiosity, obviously. Just curious, but I got to know. Louisiana is not that big of a state.
I don't think JoJo would do well in the swamp
I'm not
in
gonna
the
make that
bayou.
joke. I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm not gonna make that joke.
At
Oh, we
least
are
they have
horrible people.
horses to look after.
Oh God.
Why? Why? Hey, in fact, the two of us live here. Matt, you search the south. I'll search the north. We'll meet in the middle, and we'll find out if JoJo's here.
Just meet in Baton Rouge and
We'll meet in the middle like Diamond Rio.
Oh
wow,
God.
wow.
Oh wow.
I think we've hit enough references tonight. We have
Oh
hit the
my.
quota. Let's get to the main, because if I stay up any later, I'm gonna want to shoot myself in the morning.
You don't do that every morning?
Sir, thinking about it,
Go Cougs.
I hate you so much.
Well, unfortunately, you guys put me in a better mood and got me to laughing before we get to this fuckery. Um, raise your hand if you want to rant,
I want to rant. I want to rant. I want to rant. I want to rant.
Matt.
Ran about what?
Oh fuck.
The main event, right? Like Matt's just lost. Like he's looking for JoJo. Can't blame him. He's already on the hunt. Like
I
sorry.
mean, I don't really have much else to rant about.
I
No, I'm
mean,
talking about
my
me. Yeah, me ranting about Drew versus Dean in the last man standing match.
it's a Mox rant. Go, 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 go.
A didn't weigh in. A can I rant?
AA, AA's
Can we?
taking out Cassie.
Oh, oh, good. Free reign.
Oh fuck.
But where's Shadow?
Fuck Shadow.
Sh-
He's in.
Shad,
He's in the.
Shad, Shadow's out looking for JoJo.
I was about, you beat me to it. He's on. He's on the scent. I showed him a picture and he's gone. Okay, so beside the whole fact of Dean Ambrose will no longer be on TV nonsense, he fucking main events Raw the same day that fucking rumor came out. The same day. Rumors are proven to be 50% or more wrong. No big deal. They put Dean Ambrose, the king of fucking violence, the fucking the reason we're called Violent Wrestling Podcast is because of my love and AA's love for Dean Ambrose, CCW, and all of that. That's where we got our name. We like the violence. We like the death matches. We like the fucking sawzalls going to somebody's skull, John Moxley. We love that shit. So, if thank you for putting him on TV. Thank you for putting him in the main event. Holy, excuse me. Holy shit, it's going to be a last man standing match if this is his last appearance. Holy shit, he's going to go all out. This is going to be fun. This is going to, like, if this is his way out, at least you're going to give me something to remember. At least you're going to do that, right, WWE? At least you're going to do that for me. You're going to give me something from just a Dean Ambrose character that showed up in the Shield in 2012. You're going to give me something to go off of to his last match in WWE. He main evented Raw in a last man standing match against the person that faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Give me, yes, thank you. Then this motherfucking match ends with Dean not being able to get up on a 10 count from a fucking Claymore kick Are you fucking kidding me? A Claymore kick. I get, like, let's make Drew look strong. All these years of the narrative of gotta make Roman look strong, gotta make Roman look strong, just went right the fuck out the window by putting Dean motherfucking Ambrose down for 10 seconds with one fucking Claymore kick. That was fucking bullshit. And more bullshit on this is that you guys went to commercial at 9:27 saying that up next was this match. So you got me all excited like, "Oh shit, not only is it a last man standing match, but it's going to go for 30 fucking minutes." You come back from commercial with the fucking stupid Spice Girls promo from Triple H that goes for 10 fucking minutes, go back to commercial, come back from commercial, and guess what? The match is, I think, 10 minutes at that time. 9, maybe. We get 4 minutes into the match, and what the fuck do y'all do? Go back to commercial. Come back at 9:56. 4 minutes left. 4 fucking minutes. And a last man standing main event in what might be Dean Ambrose's last match on Raw or WWE, period. We get 4 fucking minutes. 7 minutes total on TV this match lasted. 7 fucking minutes. And it ends with Dean literally looking like he's having a seizure on the mat from one Claymore kick. Dean fucking Ambrose go all the way back through his WWE history. Can't make it to his feet from one Claymore. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you, WWE. That was shit. I don't care if he lost. I knew he was gonna lose. That was fucked up. He deserved better. I'm perfectly fine with him losing. You've got to do that for Drew going into Mania. But to go like that, that was uncalled for. That do better.
They don't have to do better
That
because he's gone.
no, that he's going back to the earned deserve shit. The shit he was the workhorse for all those years, house shows, live shows. No,
They
if that was his last match, they that's fucked up.
they decided, as is tradition, you ain't coming back. You're going out on your back,
And I'm fine with that.
and they don't care about the presentation on the way out.
That I'm not fine with. All the years that Seth was injured, Roman got injured, this person got injured. Guess who didn't until just last year and came back? Guess who fucking showed up at every show? Carried your fucking brand. And mainly my argument is one fucking shitty looking Claymore kick.
They want to get the Claymore kick over. I mean, I'm not arguing with what you're saying. I'm just telling you this is how it is.
I know, but that doesn't make it any better.
No, it doesn't. And you, they only have a, they were not going to let Dean be Dean here. They
Oh,
just
well,
weren't.
yeah, and I wasn't expecting Sawzalls and blood and
No,
but
I know you weren't, but they were not going to let us have that fighter, that crazed, militant
yeah, and
ass kicker in
even
that
if they would
environment.
have, they didn't have the time.
Yeah, they didn't want to. They didn't give him the screen time. They didn't give the build. They didn't. It. There was.
When was the
This
last
was a.
time Triple H did a promo at at my time 9:30, 10:30 Eastern? When was the last time he wasn't top of the hour?
I don't know,
When
but at least it wasn't 9.99.
oh good grief.
9.99.
Maggle.
How about
But
that? Your first $10,000
it
week. I look at
and
this stupid.
not announced or anything. They're not during the entire Raw. Did they say anything about Triple H was going to respond to Batista? The entire 3 hours I sat through that motherfucker, not one time did they say Triple H is going to respond to Scarface. I mean, the president. I mean, Batista.
Middle school principal.
All of the above. Not one time did they say anything about it. They go to commercial saying up next is the last man standing match. Come back from commercial and Triple H is doing a promo. And it had to be a planned promo because of the letter and stuff, unless somebody literally just printed it out backstage, during the show or whatever. It just, man, that that
They've always presented Dean as PG-13, PG Dean. He was never gonna. They were never gonna give this the time. They were never. This was all about putting them in that environment to show how big and strong and dominant Drew
and
McIntyre is.
that's fine and all. Do if replace do what they did last night. Replace that with the Falls Count Anywhere match with the Claymore kick, but in the rails of the steps, and like don't bring them back from that and do a last man standing match and just a simple Claymore kick. And been nice knowing you, Dean.
They
But you know something, Mark's pinfalls count anywhere. Well, that's not exactly my bag, baby. The pinfalls and the hot dog stands, the pinfalls in the crowd. It's not exactly a love thing. But I know somebody whose bag it indeed is.
don't do the whole
He's
thing. We
my
ain't got that
man.
kind of time.
He's my main man. Well, you might say he's a kind man, a kooky kind of cat. Let's bring him out right now.
Please
Are
don't.
you? Please don't. We have things to do. I need to go to bed.
Mankind, my main man, will up high. Oh, you're too slow. Good
Do
to have
you
you
watch
hello, champ.
promos all day?
He must.
What?
Hey, how much of my rant did you catch after walking Cassie?
After walking Cassie, I caught most of it.
Okay.
I
What? How
just
do
let her
you?
out.
Oh, oh. So you were like just up and down.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I started to say Mrs. Mox, but that'd be weird. But as a fellow Moxley fan, I, uh, what do you think? Then we'll get on to Kofu Mania so Rice can get to sleep and we'll talk about other stuff or
I'll
whatever.
actually let you guys handle Kofi Mania.
Sir,
Well,
I
I feel the way that you do from what you told me from what happened.
just stupid. Rice Kofu Mania, 2 minutes, go.
Kofi Mania. Tonight they finally allowed the. They finally gave up the ghost, so to speak. Um, Kofi is indeed going to go to WrestleMania to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. They put the other two members in
Is it
the New Day in a tag team gauntlet against Rusev and Nakamura, the Bar, um,
Gallows and Anderson?
Gallows and Anderson, the Usos, and then they end it Brian and Rowan. Um, New Day went out there. Boys just laid it out. They laid it all out there tonight. Um,
The
a lot
Usos are
of good.
permanent baby faces now, by the way.
Yeah, Usos are permanent baby faces. They they were the fourth of the five teams. When their time came up, they hit the ring. They picked up mics and said, "Good luck, Us. We forfeit."
Yes, they
They
this
they
after
acted like baby faces.
after the bar lost, they put Big E through a table, and next was the Usos' turn, and they said, he's earned our respect, you've earned our respect, he's earned everybody's respect. Um, I didn't know if they were gonna lay down or if they were gonna do what they did, but I knew they weren't gonna actually compete. I didn't know if we were gonna get a finger poke of doom again or what,
We
but
weren't going to get that, but they did the babyface thing. They didn't wrestle. That makes them even more over. Finally, Brian and Harper come out, and for being in the ring as long as they were,
Rowan,
they brought it.
yes,
Um,
they won.
they win by count out because Big E tipped the announce table over
Yes,
on
Rowan.
Eric Rowan. I just want to point out Michael Cole. I've seen that table break 35,000 times in the 20 plus years I've watched professional wrestling. Please do not sell me that that table is like trying to tip a car over, because
Sir,
that's what you did.
um, what SmackDown were you watching if you were listening to Michael Cole?
Not Michael Cole. The other bland one.
Phillips.
Phillips. Tom Phillips tried to sell me like Big E was trying to tip over a house when he was tipping over that announce table. I've seen that thing break. It's not that heavy.
Shut up, Tim.
Um, they got the count out win. I'm happy. By the way, the baby faces coming to the ring. Where was that? Where has that been the last 20 years? It used to be the baby faces would support the baby faces and the heels would support the heels on camera. Now everybody acts in their own little universe. But for this story, they had the baby faces watching on the monitor backstage, and they had all of them. Becky was there, Oscar was there, Naomi, Nikki Cross, the Usos. They had the baby faces celebrate with the New Day, with Cody, and cheer them on during the match and after the match to congratulate them. That is something that needs to happen every time there's a major babyface moment,
Yeah.
because it shows that not every the locker room aren't these independent silos of individuals. It's
They were
supposed to
just
be a
following
collective.
Becky's lead.
Get out.
Leave, sir. Mute him. Mute him.
So I'm happy for it. This we just now this really did pick up the show. This show was a tire fire after Charlotte winning.
Are you
There
sure
was
about
nothing.
that?
100%.
Because I think you're leaving out a very important thing that happened
I'm
before the
leaving
reset.
out nothing. I'm leaving
Uh,
out nothing of consequence.
Before you have to head to bed, I'll say this much. Um, two times I got goosebumps at the end,
Mm,
and two times in his life, watching wrestling that I know of, because he'll say, Daddy, look. Um, Morris got goosebumps watching that end. That's what wrestling should be. Like that. Damn it. That's how I grew up on wrestling, watching on TV and going live for the goosebump moments, and it was cool to see. my 10-year-old, Daddy, look, and show me the goosebumps on his arms.
Um, yeah, that's wrestling. That's babyface storytelling. You're
Excuse me.
supposed to end everything on that moment. So come Mania, he better damn well win
And
because
like I told you earlier, with the Charlotte winning thing, this kind of feels like a whole. Oh, you want Kofi at WrestleMania? Well, you'll get Kofi, but I'm gonna piss on everything else.
yeah, this feels like they're going to set everything else on fire. I can't talk about it anymore. Just a quick thing. Roman Reigns will be on the After Dark podcast with Stephen A. Smith. He's either been on it, is going to be on it, or it's going to be released soon. But he was on the Stephen A. Smith podcast talking about WrestleMania 35 and his 10-year battle with leukemia. I'd rather have it be someone other than Stephen A., but all things considered, that's probably a must listen.
Now, now,
Um,
You,
I'm going to say here, I'm going to try and stay calm. I'm going to try and stay cool. Now, I want you to know that when you're booking the last few years, they were on crack.
oh my God. Y'all need to apologize for him. Um,
sir, he's your friend.
you can't disown him. So I now have to follow a Stephen A. rant. All right. This is
Did you
my
see that a vulture bird or something like that flew into his
a
office?
turkey vulture flew into Stephen A. Smith's office at ESPN, broke the window because it demanded an audience. Thanks again, everyone who listened. My name's Adam. You can find me at PWFan01 on Twitter and in the daily and the nightly over at Cage Side Seats, although you won't find me anywhere else because I ain't venturing into any thread over the course of the next 2 weeks. Um,
You can find him losing in the tournament bracket.
you can eat me, sir. I haven't given up hope yet.
Well,
Um,
after you set yourself on fire and make you real crispy. Season yourself first, though, please.
I'm a walking KFC accident.
Thanks for
Thanks
being on.
again.
Thanks for staying up late.
You're welcome. I'm now going to try to
I'm,
figure out how I'm going
why
to
the
get
fuck am I
started.
thinking a co-host? Like, fuck you for being on, but thank you for staying up late.
You're welcome. Thanks again, as always. Enjoy the rest of the show, everybody. I'm out.
Sleep tight.
Peace.
We'll see what happens.
Don't let the big bugs bite.
Go fuck yourself.
Y'all suck.
Kofi Mania.
What do you make of that, AA?
I want Kofi to win so bad.
Can you taste it? Can you? Or I was gonna do two promos at once. Do you want it? Do you really want it? He's got to go over, doesn't he?
He better.
And we know, like, and we brought this up earlier about people having pool backstage. We know Daniel does. And Daniel's not the for lack of better reference at the moment, like the Triple H kind of Daniel backstage is just saying, Kofi's going over. I'm putting Kofi over. Like whatever your plans are, right around what because I'm putting Kofi over at Mania. I just I don't like Daniel with his whole. That's a whole different podcast too. I
You
don't
don't
like
like
Brian
this
Dan.
version of Daniel.
No, I do. This is his best version. Um, Brian Danielson rose me the wrong way. With he kind of comes off as holier than thou, like in real life. Um, he and Brie both, and Nikki for that matter. He's a good person. Don't get me wrong. Just the whole, I don't know. He seems pretentious and stuff to me. Like it's his way or you're doing it wrong kind of thing. And but he's definitely the kind of person that sees the writing on the wall and would definitely no. Best thing here is Kofi going over. I don't care about you know the championship or me winning or
And then Kofi and Big E and Xavier could smoke the belt.
damn. What are your overall thoughts on Kofi Mania, Matt?
I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, Kobe's deserved this opportunity for a long time now, so it's nice that it looks like he's finally able to get that opportunity.
I thought after last week's Gauntlet match and what happened there and him getting screwed over in the end, and I even said
Honestly,
so.
I still think this is going to be some kind of swerve next week. Like you have to pin somebody in order to qualify or something like that. I did notice that Vince said that we'll see if a B plus player will able to win at WrestleMania. He didn't necessarily say exactly who.
Yeah, that was kind of
You only
the,
hear what you want to hear.
well, she did ask, is Kofi going to WrestleMania, and he did say yes. Um,
Didn't necessarily say in what capacity.
true, just like he, Fastlane, he's going to be in a triple threat, but uh, I don't see it being a swerve where he's not in it, but
At this
I don't
point in this storyline, I'm honestly expecting it.
just and what the hell? Where's Kevin Owens?
He was at ringside.
Well, I mean, besides cheering on Kofi, I'm saying like storyline, like anything. I guess he's going to be in the battle
Honestly,
royal.
they brought him back for no reason at all. Like, no reason.
Well,
It wouldn't surprise me
it,
if he was in the Andre Battle Royal.
that's what I'm thinking. But they actually, the reason was perfect. That's what started this whole keep screwing Kofi out of the Mania match. But after that, like it's been KO's back, right? Like he did. I didn't just imagine that. Like he's back from injury, right? This whole WrestleMania season seems like such a besides disaster. It seems like a whole lot of holding patterns, waiting for after Mania to do shakeups or whatever they're gonna do. There's so many
It's
players,
time to
wrestlers.
shake things up, pal.
Oh, good grief! Oh, and next week. Oh God, next week we have our WrestleMania prediction show. Oh,
You know,
that's
with
gonna be fun.
certain superstars going to different brands, new matches, new feuds, and things of that nature.
This guy right here. Hey, your last reviews of stuff when you were doing every WWE game, did I miss the Raw versus SmackDown 2006,
I think he
or
did.
did
Maybe.
you reviewed it and I
Yeah.
dismissed it? Damn it! I've been playing Raw versus SmackDown 2009.
That's a decent one.
Yeah, I like 6 better. It's only on
I,
2.
I like '07 most of all.
I've never played 7.
It's a great game.
The I have '09 and
Candice Michelle turns her character into a woman in the storyline.
what? I'll just have to buy the game and find out what you're talking about. I
I
have
mean,
that and
I'm pretty sure like the cutscenes are on YouTube.
okay. I have that and
Candice
2K13.
Michelle and Edge are a power duo. And Candice Michelle has this magic wand that she would use to carry around. She's able to turn herself into a perfect wrestler. She turns her character into a woman. All kinds of things.
Oh wow. Okay. And that's in 7.
Yeah, '07 SmackDown vs. Raw '07.
Okay. Is that just on 2 or is that on 3 as well?
It's on PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360.
Oh, then I can't play it. Shit. Anyway, um, back to the actual wrestling stuff. I just, hey, you're gonna watch Mania, right?
I watch bits and pieces of it.
Yep, you can catch WrestleMania on the W Network for $9.99.
Maggle.
$9.99. You give me my check, $9.99. How about that?
They
You're
don't.
$5 a week. I look at this stupid guy right in his face. He had his stupid wife with him. Her name was Paula.
They don't pay us to advertise though. Unlike Burger King and BlueChew.com.
I guess nobody got my honky tonk man impression.
Oh, I did, but I'm trying to get paid with the advertisements. Get your XL burger at your local Burger King for $5.99. Or always visit Blue Chew. If if it's going down, bring it up. Blue Chew.
Blue
I don't know
Chew
why.
for WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, in
It,
more ways than one.
it'll keep you up all night. Is anybody else saying anything in the comments? AA.
Nope.
Oh man,
Hello,
we put them to sleep.
ladies. You know
Oh
something,
god.
ladies? Blue Chew and WrestleMania have a lot in common.
Oh god.
You know, they are both the single largest extravaganza of all time. They both get your blood pumping. The only difference is, while WrestleMania comes once a year, Blue Chew makes you come every single night.
Sir, if you keep this up, I will put your picture of from your haircut everywhere. Sir, you're too much.
Sorry if that was a bit much. Just having fun.
Sir. Fun? There's no fun allowed on this podcast. Sir, we're strictly business.
And
Since
you guys are
when?
offended by it, right?
No, sir. Sir, I'm playing along. Like I'm being the Vince in this situation.
Since when have we been all business?
Since New Year's Eve 2016. Never once have we had fun or gone off the rails here. Never once. And we're not going to begin now. Blue Chew.
Too late.
Damn it. What else happened on SmackDown that
or
Oh,
Raw.
I know what Matt wants to talk about on SmackDown. Go ahead, because they had a promo. It was backstage. I thought they might actually do it in the ring or ramp or. Well,
The
go ahead, Matt.
Iconics had a promo, a backstage promo, hyping up their WrestleMania match, which should be 2-on-2 for the record, because they actually earned their way into the match, unlike Nia and Tamina and Beth and Natty. But that's a story for another day.
And if you're a friend of ours that listens and you know Matt's stance on the Iconics, so sometimes he's way like overboard with it, but he's not wrong here. Like the Iconics actually earned their spot. The other two just kind of showed up.
The fact is, Mox, don't you see what they're doing?
Oh, good grief!
Because Boss and Hug, they know what's going to happen the next time they meet the Iconics in the ring. So they add two more teams to make it harder on the Iconics. But you know what? You know what? The Iconics, they're going to rise above it all. They're going to overcome every obstacle that put in front of them. They are going to become the new women's tag team champions at WrestleMania.
See, I told BA Buried Alive. I told him you were going to be high before you came on the podcast, and I was right. Oh, but again, you're not wrong. Like they actually, and I hate the pin the champs, face the champs thing, but they did pin the champs. Like they actually had a match.
Hey, Bailey and
Um,
Sasha said they would face anybody.
and every week it just the Natalia Beth reunion and Nia and Tamina just happen to be there, but there's only one team that's beaten them, and that'd be the Iconics. I ain't calling them the Iconics. I always call them the Iconic Duo still. Man, were they annoying though,
Annoying, sir.
sir. Not necessarily
Sir.
like in a bad way, but that backstage segment was it was fun until right towards the end with
But the what? The
the
what?
the 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 laughing and then I don't know why, but Billy always gets so loud towards the end of promos, like so loud. Still better than Charlotte cutting a promo because
The louder the better. That's what she said.
FFS, yeah, FFS. Charlotte, oh my God, last night and tonight, Charlotte on a microphone. Like if she has to have a microphone, literally just let her do a shitty woo, and that's all. Don't let her talk because she talks like this every time she has microphone. Oh, it makes my skin crawl. What else? What can we talk about?
Crawling in my skin. These wounds will
Well,
never heal.
bringing Lincoln Park up. Chester Pennington birthday was last week, and I failed to acknowledge that in the daily and stuff. Mm, anyway, hey, what you want to talk about? What you got on your mind?
Oh, just going to the summit on Sunday.
Is that in Denver?
It's going to be in Denver. I wish I had the money to go to all four events this weekend, but
That's why I said we need to start a GoFundMe page because I want you to go to all four events and take bumps. It'd be worth it.
Taking bumps.
Yes.
Or
Like,
maybe I could talk to Anaya into taking a bump from an annihilation.
oh Lord. I wasn't like no. Like we don't. Not the annihilator. Like easy bumps. Like just simple. Like
What, like a
damn.
choke slam from Filter?
Well, no. I just meant like a simple like soft body slam or you're going like which I could see you doing that. Like if you had the opportunity, like no, screw a body slam. Like match chair. What do you think? I'm just proud of Yaden and the whole crew. Like man, they've come so far. And now that I release um is released from her Lucha Underground contract, and I sent her a tweet before the news broke yesterday that she's released, through the lawsuit. Like, if you could ever, because her contract was like ironclad, she couldn't barely do shit. She could only work for Shine. She couldn't do anything else. Like, check out Rocky Mountain Pro. They've got a good women's division. They do a lot of inter-promotion stuff with all women's shows. So that'd be cool if I release ever appeared on Rocky Mountain Pro. Crickets on that one, really?
Da-da, da-da, da-da,
Oh my
da-da, da-da,
goodness.
da-da,
Da da
da-da.
da. Da 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 da.
Well, you love Rocky Mountain Pro, and I thought you liked Ivelisse.
I do.
Okay, wouldn't that be cool if you were at a show and she shows up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anything else we need to talk about?
Well, I have this rash on my foot. Oh, you meant wrestling?
Wrestling wise.
I had to. Matt gets to cut a promo every 2 seconds. I can make a bad joke here and there. Um, anything else from SmackDown, Matt?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, it's the opening and the ending of SmackDown was basically SmackDown. Yeah, what a horrible way to start SmackDown. What a great way to end it. All right, I guess AA is trying to give us the music to leave. So
Unless we
anything
just want
else?
to talk about silly stuff
I'm game.
on air.
Why not? It's not like 60 people are going to listen to us anyway. That is pretty cool though that our viewership is going up, and surely we have to thank Moors for that, right?
Yes, we do.
So silly stuff or not, Matt?
Yeah.
Silly stuff or no?
Up to you guys.
Oh, you're a lot of help.
Right? Thanks. He's supposed to be the tiebreaker, and like, what silly stuff were you thinking of? Seen any good movies lately or anything?
Nope.
You're a
I
lot of
did
help.
watch Deep Blue Sea too, though.
How was that?
They they made the first one was better.
I watched Into the
Man,
Spider Verse the other day.
How
I
was
heard that was
that?
actually.
It was
Man,
great. Nick
I
Cage
heard
as
that.
Spider-Man Noir.
I've heard mostly good things about that. I guess some people just don't like anything, but heard mostly good stuff, and I want to get it from the library or rent it or something and watch it with Morris. Didn't it win an Oscar for best animated?
I know it was nominated. I don't know if it won. I think
Yeah,
it did, but I
it,
could be
it
wrong.
yeah it won. It won for best animated. I don't even have to look it up. I just remember. Have you seen it, AA?
No,
No.
I've just never been a big Spider-Man fan.
Yes.
Shame.
So
Shame.
you're a DC fan, I take it.
Nope,
Image?
nope,
Hellboy.
nope,
Archie?
nope.
Garfield?
Yep, but I'm a bigger Mutts fan.
Oh yeah. Wait, while we're just chit chatting on air, where people are like, what are these guys talking about? Um, like all I watch anymore, for one, it like they on Ion they play it all day, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Criminal Minds. Uh,
It's addicting.
pretty good show.
It's very addicting show.
Yes. The only thing I don't like is because literally they play it from like 10 in the morning to 9 at night or something. I don't watch all of it, of course, but
Oh wow,
but
Lil Jon came on VH MTV Classic.
Lil Jon
Yeah, Get Low.
on Classic.
Yeah, MTV Classic.
Oh, I'm old as shit.
What?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I like Criminal
Shots,
Minds.
shots, shots, shots.
Oh, good grief.
What? Girl fight.
Oh wow. Okay, maybe the silly stuff wasn't a good idea. Well, I finally I guess there's so many episodes that a lot of times, like I say, repeats. But I finally saw the episode where we find out why Shamir Moore calls Garcia baby girl was her first day because he, baby girl, which she's my favorite character because I always love like you're on speaker and she still does the
The flirting.
yes. Oh, am I gonna get a spanking? She's my favorite. But I always wondered like why he called her baby girl, and then I saw I guess it was the first episode, and nobody knew her name. Like, who's that? I don't know, Gomez or something. And he's like, hey, Gomez. And she keeps walking away and like, hey, baby girl. And she stops dead in her tracks, turns around and smiles. Yes. And he called her baby girl ever since. Good
Penelope
show.
Garcia.
Her and always talking to her figures at her
Really?
desk.
No, I got
Okay.
a joke.
What else can we talk about?
I don't know.
Well, I guess since we're here and probably by this time nobody's listening, and well, there might be a couple people. Hi, BA. Hi, Des Moines. Um, some news that I was going to share off air, or but I'll go and spill the beans now.
Not
Um,
about your foot rash.
what? Damn it! Now what am I supposed to talk about? We're moving to a new house in 2 months.
In 2 months. Well, hopefully it's one where the front yard doesn't flood.
No, it's um, I'll tell you off air where it is, but it's 4 bedroom, 2 bath. Morris gets his own room, but bigger, and he gets his own bath. And
And he gets a bedroom door.
yes, he will finally have his bedroom door back. For those that don't know, in fact, I think AA was the only one that knew. Um, um, for reasons, Morris took his bedroom door off, and we haven't put it back up. He kind of likes it like that, so we just left it like that.
Bitch.
What the hell? So yeah, we're
That's some show on Laugh TV.
what now? All I heard was live TV.
It's that 70s show on Laugh TV.
Oh, oh, oh! You watch live TV too?
Yeah, sometimes.
So,
Yeah, I've
so
been
do I.
catching some of the classic TV shows like Sanford and Son, That 70s Show, My Wife and Kids, stuff like that.
They don't play that on my live TV.
Well, that 70s Show is on Laugh TV.
Yeah, that '70s
Sanford and
show is
Son is on what channel is it?
yeah, '70s
Get
show is on
TV.
live TV.
That's what it comes
Oh,
on. My Wife and Kids comes on Fuse as well. So a bunch of different channels, but
oh,
all
okay.
good stuff.
Yeah, you're saying overall you're watching old. Yeah, the
Yeah,
only one
overall.
that plays on live TV out of those is that '70s show.
I think they started playing the court in the gym.
Yes, they started 2 Mondays ago or 3 Mondays ago, and according to Jim, 4 p.m. our time. But it comes on during Criminal Minds, so I haven't been watching it. But yeah, so we'll be moving. Morris will have more room. Morris will have his bedroom, bathroom, and an actual playroom, which is cool. So yay! Get out of this shithole. I
No,
always
just
call
as
it
long as your
shithole.
front yard doesn't flood.
Yeah, and backyard and side yard and Need a boat to get out of the driveway. So what else? Somebody, anybody, anybody?
Well, Cassie the Wonder Dog is asleep
Probably near you or on top of you.
next to me.
Oh, I can wake her up.
No, she's sweet when she's asleep.
Oh, that was definitely a no. Please don't. Well, Shadow Emma and Buster are still pains in my ass.
No, they're not.
Bull crap.
Not Shadow.
Okay, Matt. It has dried up enough where I can finally let Shadow out on his lead, and we are on air talking about this silly shit. When we say silly shit, we mean silly shit. So we don't leave him out there just about an hour at a time. Let him exercise. It's like a 50-foot long lead. He can just run around the front yard. Before he'd be swimming in the front yard, but it's finally dried up enough where you can get out there and play and get some of that energy out.
And bring in some muddy paws.
Yes, I literally have to wipe his feet on the welcome mat with his paws, not his feet. Anything else wrestling related?
Not that I can think of.
Finally got around to watching Tanahashi and White.
What'd you think of that?
It was a pretty good match. I still don't agree with the decision to have Jay White win the title at least this soon. I would have been cool to win it maybe later in the year or next year, but I feel like now was a bit too soon. But I am interested to see what he does with that title. And right now I'm getting caught up on, let's see,
Do you want spoilers or do you
the
already know?
NJ Cup. That's what it is. The NJ
Yeah,
Cup.
yeah. The New Japan Cup. I've stayed up for several nights of it. It's a 11 night event, 12 night event. I stayed up for 5 of the nights to watch live, and then the others I watched after the fact. Um, I won't spoil you on what happens because you know who wins the New Japan Cup faces White at Madison Square Garden.
It better be evil.
Well, about that, I don't. Yeah, never mind, sir.
What? What?
I was gonna say I don't think Evil was even in the tournament.
Boo.
Uh, yeah, the cup was overall pretty good. Even some of the non-cup stuff, the tag matches and stuff they do that aren't part of the cup, like pretty good. I don't know what you're gonna get on Access as far as that goes, but I gave you my New Japan
Oh,
password.
well, for night one, or the first round anyway, it's going to be Naito versus Ibushi and Evil versus CSJ.
Oh yeah, yeah, hard pass.
And then this Friday, on another new episode, it is round two, and it's Ibushi versus CSJ and Tanahashi versus Taguchi.
Wow, so they're skipping like half of the bracket.
It's possible. It's possible.
Well, if the first episode has CZJ, Zack Sabre Jr., and the first round, the second episode has Zack Sabre Jr. in it, for one that spools the first one. And what about the other side of the bracket? Unless they really draw it out and do bracket by bracket. I thought they were getting closer to it not being months behind. I thought they were only a few weeks behind.
I mean, it just sucks that I have to watch two CSJ matches in a row.
Thank you. I mean, he he's not as bad as Osprey. And when I say that, I'm just talking personal opinion. Like I can kind of tolerate Zack Sabre Jr. Will Osprey, I can't, for reasons outside of the ring too. Like I can't stand him. He's a jerk. Anywho, what else? Match chair always has to get the last word.
Of course.
Freaking diva.
I don't see Angel anywhere on the podcast.
he's he's been replaced by your chair.
But we gotta have him back on the show. We need his top five.
Yes, we do.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
Obligatory.
Lord, what?
His top five. I always have to mess with him. Is that about it, I guess?
I think that's about it.
All right. Matt, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at melmat15, also on KSIC, singling the daily and the nightly. Currently reviewing all the wrestling albums, so that counts WCW, W, even TNA, and ECW. So I'm gonna be trying to take a look at every single wrestling album that has ever been released. So it should be pretty fun. And I am hopeful this Friday I'll be able to do a Unforgiven 2004 episode because I am off on Friday. So I don't know who I'm going to try and get. I wanted to try and get Angel, but tax season, grr.
If
So
you
I'll
have to
try and
settle
find
for Mox, you have to settle for Mox. That's just how
something.
life works. For those that don't know, since he didn't plug his own show, it's Ruthless Aggression Era
Bridges are going to
Podcast.
their podcast.
You can find me at Fireman6809, but like Rice, I won't be on Twitter much except for DMs. Probably till after Mania because, yeah, it's probably going to be a mess. So I'm going to avoid that. But yeah, that's where I'll be. Hey,
You can find me at Lady Rashana on the bird thing. And you can find me lurking in the daily.
bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word.
Bird is the word. Bird, bird, bird.
You can find all of us at Violent Wrestling No G on Twitter. Violent Wrestling Pod. Shit. Twitch handle. Hey, Twitch handle. I always mess it up. Hey.
And that's about it.
All right. Peace, guys. Thanks for listening.
Good night, everybody. Or good morning, everybody, depending where you are in the time zones.